Well, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Shop with Russ. I'm glad to be back, and I'm feeling a whole heck of a lot better than I was last week, trust me. I started out Wednesday afternoon in bed and stayed in bed until Saturday afternoon. And I've got myself over here if y'all can't hear it. Let's Talk Shop with Russ. I'm glad to be back, and I'm feeling I forgot to mute my other computer over here, so I'm listening to myself open the show, which is pretty cool. I never heard that before. So anyway, we got Mike Fulton tonight, and he's going to be doing some stuff on the lathe for us. First off the bat, I haven't got any new stickers lately, so that's pretty much all what's up there has still been up there from the last time I was here. But I do want to do a shout out to my sponsor, DeVobel Technologies. If you haven't had a chance to go by and check out my new website, simplywoodencreations.com, go by and check it out. They redid my website. I'll get it out tonight. They redid my website, and I'm really very excited and happy the way it looks. Awesome job they did for me, and we're going to be giving away a website. I talked to him the other day, and they're working on a few things to get set up, but that is in the making, and that will be in the near future. So if you get a chance, go check them out. It's DeVobel Technologies over at devobel.com. They do website design, development, and hosting. So that being said, let's Mike, I'm going to leave you to last. We'll run down the list and let everybody introduce themselves. So Charles, you're the first. Go ahead.
I am Charles Deering. I mainly do scroll sawing. I'm trying to do lathe crap, but I don't know what the heck I'm doing. But if for some reason you're desperate, go to my website and you can see all my social media links, woodenvisions.com. Thank you.
Cool. And then next we have Chris Ahern.
Hey guys, Chris Ahern here from the Old Cranky Workshop. I do a little bit of everything from small furniture build to steer cups to you name it. I don't know. I'll try my hand at anything at least once. If you can't find me on Facebook on the Old Cranky Workshop, you can find me down at the local pub.
Cool. And then next is Mr. Dave Gatton.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Gatton. You can find me on YouTube and Facebook under Dave Gatton, and also on Twitter and Instagram occasionally.
And then Mr. Donald.
Well, I'm Donald Matthews. You find me on Donald Vlogifies Wood Shop on YouTube. My Twitter and Instagram and everything's there. I also have a website, redneckknowhow.com, because I'm a redneck. And sometimes I know how, usually not.
You have a lot of duct tape videos over there?
I'm working on it. I want to see if I can turn duct tape on the lathe.
Brought to you by WD-40.
All right, and then apologize tonight if I cough, people. I don't mean to cough in your face. Thank God we ain't next to each other, because this, even though I'm over the flu, it's left me with this nagging, hacking cough. So I'm still dealing with it, and I've bought me a whole handful of cough drops over here, so I'll be chewing on them from time to time. But next is John Shafter.
Hi guys, you can find me on Facebook under my name. You can find me on YouTube. Someday I'll have it up, and my website, and I might have that up someday too.
That's funny as crap. Someday I'll have it up. Sorry. Anyway, you got me going there for a second there, John. Caught me off guard. Because when you said that, you can find me on my website, I was going like, holy crap, you finally got a website. And then you pull that stupid stuff, someday I'll have it up.
That's a mid-April Bulls joke.
Okay. Well, anyway, it got me tickled there, so good. So, okay, now we are, and you know the whole time I was letting y'all introduce yourself, I had it locked on me. I tell you what, one day in the future, I will learn how to do this thing right. I don't know when it'll be, but one day I'll learn how to do it right. So You want to go through the list again? Everybody introduce themselves so they can shut. No, we won't do that. So, anyway,
Hi, I'm sorry.
hey, and it works because it popped up on you that time.
So what you're saying is that you really are stuck on yourself.
I guess I was, because the whole time y'all were introducing yourself, it was stuck on me. So, and then I tell you what, see, now I blabbed long enough that we got Russ. He got on here tonight, so I'll let him introduce. And guess what? You get to show your face. Everybody else didn't see theirs.
What?
Yep. Go ahead. Introduce yourself.
All right, Russ Meadows here. You can find me on Facebook under that name, or you can find me at my Facebook page, Rusty Nails with a Z, Woodshop, and that'll do it.
Okay. Now we're going to the man of the hour, which is Mike, and I've got it locked on you, Mike, so they won't see my ugly face. So.
Well,
How you doing?
I don't know if I'm much better, but I am doing good, and thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Mike Fulton, MF Woodshop. You can find me YouTube, and I'm most active on Facebook. And if you want all my links, just go to my website, mfwoodshop.com. I have all my links and everything you need to know about me on the website.
Cool.
What were we talking about tonight?
We're
the lathe.
We're going to talk about the lathe. We're going to talk about it's fast becoming one of my my favorite things to talk about is the lathe. I'm starting to learn how to turn a few things. I've turned a few pins. This one today. Got to show it off. This came from a log in my yard. Actually, this is it's a wormy log. This is what it looked like. So I want to know more about the lathe. And I'm talking while you're setting yourself up.
Yeah, I'm just.
I don't know how he gets them plants to hang sideways like that.
Hey, that's the that's gravity at its best right there. All right. Yeah, I'm not a lathe professional. I'm definitely a beginner myself, but I've been doing it. I've had the lathe for about 2 years now, maybe a little more. So, just a quick rundown of some of the stuff that I use on a regular basis. A spindle gouge, which I'm going to show you how to sharpen tonight. Using this, I can't really see my damn camera. Spindle gouge, 3/8 spindle gouge. I'm going to show you how to sharpen this. This piece here is made of a PVC pipe and a bent pawl thread, or a bent 1/4 inch metal rod. I'll think of it in a minute. Now rod. And I got that off of, I'll think of this channel here in a second too. I'll come back to that because I can't remember his channel. But he calls it a $2 sharpening system, and you can find it off of that. So, and the other one I use quite often is a roughing gouge, and also a parting tool. And quite honestly, these are the three that I pick up almost every time I go to the lathe. I do have an easy lathe tool, and I like it. It's just I'm comfortable with these, and these are pretty much my go-to tools on almost every lathe project. If we have time, I'm going to show you how to do a quick pin. I've never done this particular pin kit before, so it'll be a learning curve for me as well, but I got it all set up, ready to go. It is a bullet cartridge pin, and it actually looks pretty cool. The bottom of it is shaped as a bullet, and the top of it has a rifle on the clip, and the top of that is like the top of the bullet. I thought that was pretty cool. And I picked up zebra wood to do that, so I thought that would be a nice complement to that particular kit. And I picked up, what's that?
Also, didn't hear recently you make something that you were using that I thought was pretty interesting?
For the pin kits?
No, for the for burning on a.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
You just wait your turn.
Okay. I'll shut up.
But yeah, we'll go into that. This is the burning tool I just made maybe 2 weeks ago, and really simple to make. It's just a dowel rod with a hole in it. It's a 1/8 inch hole. And what was kind of interesting about this is this string that I use is a guitar string. So I know there's a lot of guitar players out there that probably have some old string laying around. It works really well. And the ribs on this particular string, I don't know anything about guitar strings, but the ribs on this string, I think it's the biggest string on the guitar. Was that a G or something? I don't know anything about it. But anyway, it's the biggest string. It's one I used on this. And, you know, it works really well. And it gives a nice clean burning line on the projects, just like that. And I did have one set up to make, but, you know, I mean, quite honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. You take a dowel rod, you drill a hole, and you put the string in. The only thing I can suggest on that guitar string, let me grab one. The guitar string comes with this red, I doubt you can see that, the little red round piece. I really don't know what it's called, but I'm not a guitar player, so I don't know the terminology. I apologize.
It's that little round thing on the end of the string that catches it so it don't fly all the way through the board thing.
Yep, I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah, what's it called, Redneck?
The other side, you know, I cut it about 10 inches long or so, and the other side I crimped on one of these wire ferrules, really small, and that crimp looks like that, if you can see it. Right there. I know it's really small, but it worked out pretty well, and I'm pretty pleased with it. Now,
I really like the way that it leaves that black or burn mark on it. That really looks sharp. I can think of a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it comes out clean. I've done this before with other. It didn't come out this sharp, and that's really, really sharp and really clean.
You think it's because of the guitar string that it turned out that way?
I'd like to think so, but you know, I don't know, quite honestly. With the little ribs on the guitar strings, I think it does kind of burn in there a little cleaner.
Cool.
How long would a guitar string last doing like that?
So far, 2 weeks. So I'll keep you posted on that. One other thing that I did last week, I wanted to take that design to the next level. So I went down and bought a cheap coping saw, and I put the string in place of the blade. So now I actually have somewhere to hold it here, and then I can just kind of press down like that onto the wood. And that was kind of a suggestion that I had on that video to use something else other than holding it like this, because that string gets really hot, so you have to hold your fingers away from that string, otherwise you're going to burn the hell out of your fingers. So that was something else I was trying with. I was trying to come up with a way, and I ran out of time, quite honestly, to interchange this piece so I can use different size strings. And someday in the future, come up with some sort of quick disconnect method where I can put bigger guitar strings or smaller ones on there, and you know, do different size burn lines. So I think that'd be an interesting video if I can come up with a way to do that.
That's actually another great idea. I like that.
And the most important part in my shop is my Mountain Dew. So with that being said, that's kind of all the stuff that I use. Onto the pin turning, or yeah, on the pin turning. I have this little plastic kit. I don't have a whole lot of pin turning supplies, but the pin supplies that I do have, just put them in this little plastic organizer. And down on the bottom, I put the part numbers for the bushings, so I know exactly what bushings are that I need for a particular pin kit. I got 4 or 5 different bushing kits.
But that's one thing that I noticed real quick, like, is every type or style of pin, so to speak, has its own set of bushings. So don't forget when you buy the pin to make sure you either have the bushings or you buy the bushings, because trying to turn it without them is going to be like useless.
Yep, that's right. And this particular pin kit, that's you know, for the most of the time when I buy them, it's usually at Rockwood or Woodcraft, and right there on the label, it'll tell you what bushing kit is in. And in my particular case, it was this 43-551 bullet cartridge bushing kit. And I already got those on my mandrel. So if you don't know what the bushings look like, they look like that for this particular kit. All the kits are a little different. Some of them have 2 bushings, some of them have 3 bushings. It just depends on the kit. Let me show you how to sharpen this real quick, because we'll be taking this over to the lathe, and we'll get this pin knocked out.
Cool.
So this Rycon low-speed grinder, it is in my book, a highly recommended grinder for wood lathes. I hope you guys can see that.
Yeah, we can see it.
If I have to move that camera, that's fine. But it's a Rycon 8-inch bench grinder, and it's a low speed. Low speed's pretty key when you're turning these, or when you're sharpening these, because you don't want to basically get your metal too hot because it passes them on. So on this particular one, I got a 2-inch setup between the jig here and the tip, and down here on the bottom I got a little block that's marked out for 2 inches. So basically I just put this up here, set that at my 2 inches, tighten it down, and that jig is ready to go for me. Now I also have the Wolverine sharpening system with this grinder, which is also highly recommended. There's all sorts of jig. You can actually buy this jig from Wolverine, and it's like $90. I like the price of $2 myself, so that works out really well. So essentially, this tool, or this jig, will sit on here like that. The tool will go up against the grinder, and all you do is rock it back and forth. That's it. So I'll do that real quick. I already got it sharpened, so I'll just do it for demo real quick. So you just set it into the little cradle right here, put it up against the grinder, and you just go back and forth. I already sharpened it before the show, but it does give you a really, really good. I'll find the camera somewhere. There it is. Does give you a really clean and consistent is the most important. Being consistent on that will give you a. You'll get familiar with the tool, the way it works, and everything. So that's, to me, is more important than even razor sharp, quite honestly. I got my pin press. If you don't know how to make this press, I did a video on it. It is, there's my pin blank. I can set it into this little jig, clamp it down, and I'm ready to go.
Back to your grinder real quick.
Yeah.
Is grits, I don't know if you call them grits or whatever.
It is.
Are it the wheels? What grit is the wheels, or do you know?
I do know. This particular grinder came with a 60 and a 120 grit.
Okay.
I would recommend the white, at least the white wheels. Don't get the gray ones; they're just too aggressive and they wear out too fast. I don't know the name of them, but I do know the color code. It's all off color codes. They got gray, white, pink. I think I've seen a green one, but it's all off color codes, and different color codes have a different quality of a wheel. But this one's a 60 grit over here and 120 over here. I hardly ever go to the 60 grit unless I have to start from scratch and reshape it from square one.
Mike, can I ask a quick tool question?
Yeah.
You said you had an easy wood tool, but you seem to use the other ones more. Is that because you got used to those tools before you got an easy wood?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. I'm the exact opposite. I started with easy wood and I'm stuck with it.
Right. And I noticed that in the industry, if you start with the easy lathe tools, you're pretty much going to use them throughout your lathe turning. And if you start the other way, you may flip back and forth. I started out with the standard ones, and then I bought an easy lathe tool, and I do like it, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I find it's faster and easier with the other ones.
Okay, and you said you got that grinder at Rockler?
Woodcraft, I think.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you said it's a little slower or it's a low speed, does it have the RPMs on it?
It does. It is 1750. This model number is at 80-805. You go to any Woodcraft, Rockler, ask for a low-speed grinder, they're going to show you this one. That's going to be the go-to grinder for wood lathe tools.
Cool.
And I find it's actually easier to use this for other stuff too. With the high-speed grinders, they're probably good for sharpening, like lawnmower blades, stuff like that. But these low-speed ones, I feel that you have more control on them.
When you're buying a grinder like that, do you get to pick which wheels come on it, or do they come with some already on it, or?
They come with two. Like I said, this one comes with the 60 and the 120.
So it does come with the white ones?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And you can actually get better ones than those. And I've had this for probably a good year and a half anyway, and they're still kicking. And I don't see any time soon that I'm going to be replacing those wheels.
Okay, my last question. I got the model number. What's the brand name?
Rycon. Rycon. R-I-K-O-N.
Oh, R-I-K-O-N. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
And Rycon is the name brand on my wood blade as well. Because somebody's going to have. So I'm going to drill a hole in this little thing here. You can mute me if you want, because it's kind of loud. That works really well. CA glue is put in the metal for the insert, and just don't forget to sand those inserts to get them really roughed up before you use it. And I've already done that. I thought I had a good up in.
Yeah, what I did was I just took a block of 2x4 and put an old sanding belt, which was like a 60 or 80 grit sanding belt, stapled it to it, and I just take the pin blank and just rub it across it just to scratch it and rough it up.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Actually, I might have to steal that one from you. The little activator, this thing will be ready to go in minutes or seconds. Actually, it's probably ready to go now. So, let me get my little This here, what do they call these things? Pin mill reamer set. That's the set that I got is a white side. White side is the name brand, and it comes with 4 different sizes for your inserts. So, and it works out really well. Sometimes I think it's a little faster just to go with the best standard. Trying to get technical here. That's something you'll hardly ever see me get is technical.
Now, was and also about that, if you don't have a barrel trimmer, you can use your disc sander on your.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's faster to do it that way too. If you're doing a lot of them, you know, you could set up a barrel trimmer, and I think it's a little better, but if you're just doing one, this sander's a lot faster. 2 seconds here. Want to do that so you barely hit the brass pin, and the way you can tell is that brass barrel will actually shine a lot better. So that's right. So the way you can tell how you got down far enough is the brass, it's real shiny. I hope that's on the camera.
Yeah, we can see it.
It's real shiny, and it's pretty much flush with that, so it's good to go. And this particular kit calls for 2 bushings, which I already got 1 on the mandrel, so I'm going to put the other one on them. The bushing fits right inside that brass tube. This bushing goes on the other side. And then, I don't know if I really need that washer on there, but I'm going to put it on there anyway. And if you guys want to talk among yourselves, I'm going to move my computer over to the lathe, and we'll get this done.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I would notice.
I'll get the same grinder, and I swear by it. It works great.
I was going to say there was a few of y'all I saw over in the chat saying something. Somebody said that you could get it for on sale at Woodcraft for $99.
Yeah, from time to time. I got mine on sale, and I think I saw it again just like a month or 2 ago. So.
And then also John said something about he has a different type of grinder. What do you got, John?
I believe what I have is a Delta variable speed, which is a best of both worlds. You can grind your lawnmower blades and stuff like that on it, as well as use it for slow speed for your more sensitive metals. I think I've used it maybe 4 or 5 times, and it works well for me. I also have the Wolverine, so.
So when it comes to the speed of the grinder, is that due to the aggressiveness of how aggressive it is cutting?
The speed, well, like Mike said, you don't want to heat the metal up too much because it'll take the temper out of it. So that's therefore the higher grit and the lower speed helps in that.
But if you're using a higher speed, make sure you keep a cup of water beside you and dip it in there between each pass to cool it down.
Yeah, otherwise if the metal starts getting discolored, you have got it way too hot.
Yeah.
And I've seen grinders for sale, but maybe I haven't looked. But I've never seen the wheels separately where you can choose the color and all that. So I'm hoping that option's around.
I don't know if that's options around. The only time I've only bought 2 grinders in my life. One of them's sitting out there, but and it's a high speed. but it came with whatever it came with. I don't know if you get a choice or not.
Well,
Yeah,
you can buy replacement wheels for
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah, I got mine at Sears. I got my wheels at Sears. They had them on clearance for like $3.
Yeah,
cool.
but you want a higher grit, like he was talking about. The lower grit, like 60/80, is really too aggressive for sharpening a tool. You got to get on up there, 120, 150, something like that. And Mike's taking us on a tour of his shop upside down.
That's a pretty looking lathe.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking at it going like, wow, that's nice.
I've been on a tour of a lot of bars upside down, but never a shop.
So did I make you dizzy?
No, it didn't make it dizzy.
Sorry. I didn't realize how many damn wires I had on this damn computer. Okay, so if
All right,
you're ready.
everybody wants to know what kind of lathe that is.
This is a Raycon lathe. Model number, I don't know.
Well, that's fine. It's just a Raycon.
Yep. It's a little half horse. It's bigger than the MIDI lathe, so it's the next step up. The only downside to this lathe that I hate is it's not variable speed. So if you're going to buy a lathe, I would recommend a variable speed lathe. It's still not bad. It has the belts over here, and for the most part, I leave it right where it's at. So it's done really well for me, and I'm a big Raycon fan. They have excellent customer service, and they've done me right. So
Their 14-inch bandsaw, the deluxe model, that thing is rated really high and has got a 13-inch cutting capacity. That's a really nice bandsaw that they have there.
yeah, here's something new to me, and I didn't even know what the hell this was. I've seen them in stores, and I didn't even know what it was until I seen David Pachito's video a few weeks ago. It's that mandrel saver is what they're called. And I seen them in stores. I just didn't know what they were until I seen that. And this is the first time I'm using it, so let's see how it works. You just put it in your tailstock. I already got the pin mandrel in here. And the way you do it, just the way I understand you do it, you just put it in there and clamp it down. And I can already tell you I'm already in love with that thing.
Yeah, it helps. I've got one of those. I ordered mine in the beginning with my mandrel, and it keeps that nice and straight. Even if you're putting pressure on it, it'll just keep it right in line. It won't wobble.
So I left all my lathe tools over here, so give me 2 seconds.
You got to lock that little lever in the back too, for what that's worth.
For any of the guys that are starting out in pen turning or lathes or whatever, Harbor Freight, I have a Harbor Freight mini lathe, and for what that thing cost me, I've made my money back probably 200 times over so far. It's a variable speed. It's not great to look at, but it does the job.
So I don't know how well you can see anything, but is that okay? I can't. Can you see anything? You want me to move that?
That's good.
Oh, it looks good.
Okay. Yeah, so right now I got the pin blank in. I'm ready to basically cut this round, and the shape is entirely up to the turner, and you can be as creative as you want on that. Myself, I personally like thin pins. I don't like fat pins, but this pin's not going to me anyway, and the customer actually wants a little bit fatter pin. That's one of the reasons I chose that bullet size pin kit. So, and that customer's probably watching right now, so if I screw up your pin, I'm sorry.
Everybody I've talked to they say they seem to sell better on the pins with more girth. That's kind of
Oh,
surprising.
absolutely. They're definitely a lot sexier pins for sure. It's just myself when I'm writing, I'd prefer a thinner style pin, like a slimline. Okay, so I got it pretty well set up. I'm going to use my roughing gouge. I just sharpened it today as well, so it won't take more than 2 minutes to get this down. So if you want to mute me, that's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say if it gets too loud, I'll mute you.
There we go.
Actually, it's not loud at all.
Yeah, it's not too bad if I'm still on.
I can barely hear it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
still on, and we can barely hear it. The drill press was making a heck of a racket, but this is not
Yeah,
bad.
the drill press is pretty loud. This one's not terrible.
I wish mine was that quiet.
The one thing right away that I've noticed with this pin is because I'm only turning, 2-inch material, 2-inch long material. Not a whole lot of room inside here to actually work your tool the way you want to, but it's one thing I've noticed right away. But still not too bad.
Yeah, those bullet pins only require the one piece of wood, so you only got like 2.5 inches of wood to turn. So
Does that mean the pin kits cost more?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
usually they do.
That's what I like about the bullet pins is you can get more money for them and it doesn't use as much material.
yeah,
Material's nothing. It's everything else.
usually a bullet pin kit runs around 20. Cheaper ones are around $20. You can go all the way up to 25.
I bought this one today at Rockler for $5.99.
Yeah, they're
Really?
pretty. I think they're cheaper than what you were saying, Russ, at Penn State. Crap.
So I'm almost
IMD.com. Sorry.
I'm almost down to the bushings. I got about a fingernail's way to go, and I like to kind of stay right in that area. I'm going to take one more cleaning pass just to get all the high spots off, and then the rest of it I'm going to take out with sandpaper because that'll get me right to that bushing, and I won't go overboard with it. Oh, I think I just took a chunk out of that thing. Actually, I'm going to switch tools here. I switched over to a 3/8 spindle gouge.
If y'all are finding them cheap like that, then y'all are getting cheap kits because I haven't found a good.
It was on sale. It's normally
Well, now is
about
that?
99, I think.
Yeah, that's not a bolt action either, is it?
No, it's not a bolt action.
That's what I was thinking. I was wrong. It was me. I was thinking the bolt action ones that are bullet are like the $20 ones.
So I got some 150 here. I'm going to take it down to the bushings. And I got a nice, easy shape to it. Nothing too fancy here. I'm going to switch to 240. Goes pretty quick. I did
That mandrels, now that you've got that thing turned down around, that mandrel's going so fast the camera it looks like it's stopped.
Hey, Russ, the bolt action bullet pins on Penn State are $13 to $16 on average.
I guess I must be buying the more expensive ones.
So I'm going to go all the way up to 600 because that's the highest grid I got. It's sitting in front of me. And 600 for wood is probably more than enough. That feels pretty good. Yeah, it feels real nice. Oh, that looks pretty good. I like that zebra wood. Smells like ass, though. Has anybody worked with zebra wood?
No, I haven't as of yet.
It smells like ass. I am not exaggerating.
Maybe they should change it from zebra wood to zebra ass. I mean,
Yeah.
For you sensitive viewers, it smells like hiney.
yeah.
So this is what I use on my wood pins. Works really well, and I don't have to go any further than this.
I've got some of that.
What name brand is that? What name brand is that? Huh?
Just one question. What have you been doing to know what zebra butt smells like? Just ask.
Well, there's a funny story. There's a funny story to that. No, my head is not up a zebra's ass, so I don't know it that personal. But so I used to be a truck driver. This is 6, 7, 8 years ago, and so I was in Texas and dropping a load off, a cargo load, not dropping a load.
Bloody hell!
And so I was dropping a load off, and I was on my way back north. Where the hell was I? I was coming out of somewhere way down south. I don't know, Laredo probably. And no, I was coming out. Anyway, I was coming from somewhere on the border, and so I was driving along, just minding my own business. Nobody else on the road. It was like deserted, and it was like in the middle of the day. I thought it was kind of weird. So didn't think too much about it. I was just cruise control. I was doing my job. And next thing I know, this animal comes running out in the middle of the road. And I'm thinking, what the hell was that? It looked like a damn zebra. And I kind of looked back in the rearview mirrors, and that animal was long gone. And so I was telling my wife about that, and she said, "Why would a zebra be running in the middle of the road in Texas?" I was like, I don't know, but the damn thing looked like a zebra. I'm telling you, it was a damn zebra. And she looked up on the internet. Somewhere down there, there's a big game hunting, and that was one of the things that they hunted was zebras. So I don't know where the hell I was at, but there was a damn zebra in the road, and it had to have been real close to where I was at. So there's what that finished product looks like.
Looks good.
And I really like that finish. I mean, I don't have to go any further than that. It looks good. So far, what I can tell, it stays like that. And really good. Might have to keep this one for myself.
I think you pretty well blew everybody away when you come out with the zebra story, because everybody thought you were like, but you actually saw a zebra. That's funny.
No, I'm serious. It was a zebra. It was from this big game hunting place, and that I was pretty close to, and they hunted zebras for some weird ass reason.
As far as knowing that smell, that's why they won't let them at the zoo anymore.
Usually got a question like that stumps people, but no, he went right on into the story.
All right, I'm going to move the camera back over there, and we'll press this thing together, and I'll be done, all right?
Sure.
So give me 3 minutes, I promise.
No, we're doing great on time. We got 15 minutes. We got plenty of time.
You even got a good laugh.
Yeah, I know.
I thought 3 of y'all were going to fall out.
When I start laughing, I start coughing. So I had to mute myself because I was about to hack a lung.
I was given what he was talking about beforehand and the question I asked, I was not sure where that story was going to go.
I think the one more than the zebra butt was funnier than he's talking about dropping a leg.
Yeah, I was over here turning purple. It's like, good God.
And at that point, I really didn't know where the story was going.
Because I knew what he really meant, but automatically after he had already talked about the zebra behind, my mind went the other direction. Funny.
And this is the pregnant pause. A hush comes over the crowd.
All right, so that computer transfer that time wasn't as painful as the last one, so that was pretty good. You know, if I get an assistant in the shop, maybe they can take care of that for me. I don't foresee that happening anytime soon.
That kit you've got right there, that's not a bolt action either, right?
No, it's not a bolt action. This
It
is
looks
a kit.
exactly like this pin kit.
Yep, that's it. It has a little gun on the handle.
Well, I chose the one with the firefighter.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep, pretty much.
Yep. Cool.
That's the kit that I got. They call this a gold bullet cartridge pin, precision and turning.
Cool.
That's a whole
That's
lot
exactly
of
like
mouthful
mine.
going on there.
I was able to. The company that I got mine from, you can have, you can order the clips separate.
Yeah.
And I ordered the fire department badge with that one. It's a nice pin, a really nice. It's very heavy.
Okay, can you see my pen press here?
Yep.
Okay. This was a pen press I made about a year ago off Lenny Shaughnessy's design.
You might want to drop the camera just a little bit down.
So you want my crotch.
Perfect. Perfect.
My crotch goes right here, I guess. Huh?
Okay.
Where'd my pen blank go? Oh, there it is. About lost my. So this is right off the lathe. This is what it looks like. I think it turned out really well. I really like that.
Yeah, it looks good. It's got a nice shine.
It really does. That's probably one of my better ones that I've turned, quite honestly. So I don't know how this pin kit goes together. I'm assuming it just goes right in here like that. At least that's what the instructions are telling me. So I got the top, or the pin clip up here, and that will fit down into that brass tube. I got my nice little fancy pin press, which this is an okay pin press. I don't like adjusting them every time, so I think I'm going to come up with a way to self-adjust. There's some dust on that thing. There's half the pin. Now, I'm assuming that gets pressed into there like that. No, that ain't too bad. This pin's easy.
Yeah, it actually, of the kits that I put together, that actually was a very easy one.
Yeah, this one's real easy. There's like no thinking in this one. I like that. I'll get that pinch tighter there. Oh man, I forgot to burn a damn line in that. Damn it.
Oops.
Sorry. I really meant to burn a line into that. And I'm assuming that gets put in right there.
Yep.
Finished project.
Cool. Well, now you have to take it apart because you got to put a line in it.
Yeah, too late.
That was fast.
That really looks good. I like that.
Moy was asking over there, how much would you sell one of those for?
This particular one, as is, I'm using this wood or this exact setup right here myself. I would probably go in the $35, $45 range.
How much with the line?
That's about $10,000, I think. No, I think you
nice.
could easily get 35 to probably even $50 out of this. I
I
think
was
you
gonna
could.
say, I think you get. I sold mine for 50.
Yeah, I think you could easily get 40 to 50 out of that easily.
I hope the people that I sold mine to ain't watching this.
Now, what I got invested in this one pin, because I had to buy the bushings. The bushings was $6. The pin kit itself was on sale for $4.99. It's typically about $12, I think. And the blank that I bought, which I normally don't buy pin blanks because I think it's ridiculous to buy pin blanks, but I did buy this one because I wanted the zebra wood on it. This zebra wood blank was $3, I think. So what, $15 somewhere in there?
Yep. Not bad
And,
at all.
and less than an hour from start to finish. And if you batched out, 10 or 15 of them at a time, it would even cut down on your labor as well.
Yeah. Well, you see, mine were a little bit more special. They had the fire department badge on them, so.
Yeah, and those are really
I
kick-ass.
had to get more money for them. I'm hoping the people that I sold them ain't watching. They'll get a hold of Mike next time they want a pin turned.
Yeah,
If that firefighter one was like the inlays that I did, there's a little bit more involved to it. So.
Oh,
yeah,
no. Yeah, this one, no, this is the one I'm talking about, which is exactly like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but that kit was probably 3 times
mine,
as much.
Yeah, the difference between mine and yours is this clip is a fire department badge where yours is a little gun.
Yeah.
Now, you're talking about this one, Donald.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So if anybody has any questions, I think that's all I have.
I only saw one question over there, and that was the one that Donald said Moy was asking about what you would sell it for. Other than that, anybody over there on YouTube, if you've got any questions, speak now or forever hold your peace.
And we don't have to leave that strictly at lathe topic if you want. If you want to know something else, that's fine.
Yeah, this one is a pain in the butt to put together, let me tell you.
That
Just
looks like a pain in the butt.
Just be wary about questions. Understand where mine went to.
Hey, I didn't test this. I wonder how it writes. A little top heavy for me. So.
It is really top heavy, but it's really beefy.
It writes pretty good.
Now I use the acrylic, which the acrylic's even heavier than that, probably that zebra wood.
Yeah.
Well, anybody else got any more questions? I'm looking over. Looks good, Russ.
So Dave, I always forget his last. Gatton?
Gatton, G-A-T-T-O-N.
Gatton. I always do that. He's starting a show tonight. Is that right?
Yeah, he's doing it strictly on CNC. I don't know if you know this or not, and that's what I was just fixing to. I'll go ahead and announce it. Right after we leave here or this show closes out, Dave Gatton over on his channel on YouTube, Dave Gatton, he is going to have a show tonight on CNC. Dave builds CNCs, his own CNC, GarageWorks CNC, and he decided that there's nothing out there for a lot of the CNC enthusiasts as far as to be, I'll get it out, enthusiasts. I mean, people do shows, but it's just like one show here, one show there, and he feels that there's enough need out there. He has people ask him questions all the time that he decided to have a show about strictly CNC. That way they could answer the software questions, hardware questions, all those kind of things. So as soon as we close out over here, he invited me to be over there on his first show tonight, which I'm going to go over. I'm a CNC wannabe. I haven't got my CNC yet, but I will have one before Christmas. I guarantee you. If I can keep Mike from telling how much he spends on these pins and sell more pins for $50, I'll get it even quicker.
I don't mean to cut in, but there is a couple of questions over here. JP wanted to know what's the best kind of CA glue for gluing end tubes, and Dan wanted to know how much is a startup to get started turning pins.
Mike, you're either muted or you're unhooked.
The startup is ungodly, depending on what all you want between the pin press, the centering vise. Oh wow.
Yeah, you can start with a lathe.
Hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Now, when I went to go buy my lathe, I told the guy at the store, I want to turn pins. That was the sole purpose of buying my lathe, is to turn pins. And he says, okay, so you want $1,000 pin. I was like, what?
Yeah.
He said, really, to get everything going, expect $1,000. And he was pretty damn close. You know, the lathe, this is granted if you're buying new equipment. There's cheaper alternatives out there. My lathe was about $450. My pin mandrel was, you know, $20. My first lathe tool was $100. My, you know, the first pin kits and the bushings and all that stuff, you know, you have another $100 there. So yes, you could spend easily, you know, $600 to $1,000 easy. Granted, if you're buying new equipment. Now they make what they call MIDI lathes. You know, they can pick those things up for what, about $150, $200, and those things are almost designed to do just pins, and you can cut some money there. Depends on the mandrel you want to use. There's too many variables to say, but a good, nice round number, $1,000.
The other one was about the CA glue. Do you use CA glue to put your pin tubes in your?
I do. I use medium strength CA glue.
Now, I was doing that at first, and then I was having some problems. They wanted to release on me on the wood, and so a good friend of mine who's on the panel tonight, Mr. John Schaffner, we were talking one day on private message, and he goes, I quit using CA glue just for that reason, and he uses this two-part epoxy. So I've been using now for, well, the first couple of pins I had, the first couple of times I had problems with the CA glue, and John told me I went and got this epoxy, and I put it in the, been putting the tubes in with that, and I've had no problem. And
I haven't had any problems with the CA glue. When I first started, I used the Gorilla Glue, the stuff that actually foams up and fills in any gaps.
Yeah, that's what I
And that
use.
worked really. That worked fine for me as well. I never had any problems with that either. But the CA glue is just a hell of a lot faster.
I was going to say, with the Gorilla Glue, you kind of got to do it the night before and let it sit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's the reason I ended up going back to the epoxy, because that CA glue is so damn fast. I'm so damn slow, I couldn't get the tubes in all the way before the shit set. So.
Yeah, I've lost a few tubes because of it setting a little too quick. I mean, I like CA glue, but you got to be quick getting that thing in there and tapping it into place.
Then you just cut that end of the tube off and start it on the other end. I see. It was done on the shop on the show here a while back.
Real quick, that CA glue, when you're using CA, now I've used CA glue in the acrylic blank, and that stuff is really quick. I'm talking about
that is really quick.
Yeah, when you've got that acrylic or the aluminum light or whatever that Zach over at NB Woodworks.
NB Woodworks.
Yeah, that when it hits that stuff, it wants to set immediately. What I've done is I stick it. I've got a. I bought one of these because it makes it a lot nicer, and you just gotta go for it. I mean, almost like
I
jamming
got
it in
one
there
of
real quick.
I
What's
got
the
one of those too, and I've used it once, and I cut my blanks almost to the exact size of the tube, and when I put the tube in, I kind of set the tube on the desk, and I shove the thing in until it bottoms out, and usually one side is almost already perfect, and then
Right.
on the other side I just hit that barrel
Well,
trim.
what is the setup time for the epoxy? Do you have a little more time to move?
Yeah, you've got the
Probably 5
epoxy
minutes or
I've
so.
got is 5 minute epoxy.
Okay.
So you got all the time in the world, and I personally I like that a lot better. Once John told me and I started using it, that's all I use now.
Well, if I don't wait long enough after putting the super glue or CA in, then sometimes I've lost tubes that way. But knowing that you have a little time to get that tube down in there just right, I like the idea of using epoxy now.
Once John told me and I started using that, that's all I use now on my acrylic and on my wood blanks, and I've had no problems.
I got a bad habit when I'm getting ready to press things. Everything will go fine with the CA glue, but when I get ready to press them together, I got a bad habit of not thinking and jabbing that tip in there a little bit too hard, and that's when it gets.
Yeah, I've done that too.
What about with the? I know on super glue, if you gob it up too much on the nozzle, it'll seize it up and block it. But what about the epoxy dispenser? Does it have a protection for when? Because obviously you're not going to use the whole epoxy tube for.
Some of the epoxies does. One thing that I do like about this Type Bond, this is the brand I use. The cap. I'm sorry, Charles, to get you off topic, but you made a good point. The cap itself has a little needle nipple on the inside.
That's good.
So when you put it down, it actually cleans that tip out as well. So,
Russ, what about the epoxy? Does that nozzle get gummed up if you don't? Because you're obviously not going to use that whole thing for one pen tube.
No, because it's two-part. It shoots the epoxy out of one side and the harder out of the other, so they really don't intermix. I just take a paper towel, and whenever I get through squirting a little bit on it, I use a paper plate, squirt a little bit on it, use a popsicle stick, mix it, and just take a paper towel and wipe the end and cap it back up. No problem.
Okay, I thought it came out the same nozzle.
Charles, with the two-part epoxy, don't mix it with the end of the tube.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't planned on it. I just thought, even with those double pumper things, I thought they came out the same nozzle together.
No.
You mix it externally.
Yep.
Oh,
Actually,
This one's
some do. One brand will. I don't remember the brand. I think it's DevCon. I think it is. It'll come out the same nozzle. It mixes it internally.
Yeah, this one that I've got is Loctite, and the only reason I'm opening this is I got 2 or 3 of them at one time, and the other one that I've been using is out there in the other part of the shop, so I'm not going to walk all the way out there. But if you'll notice that there is actually two distinct
outlets
that come out of this. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And even the cap, if I can find it, even the cap has a place for two holes in it where it goes on there.
Good deal.
But I just wipe it with a paper towel, no big deal.
Most of the time, I can get the tube down in there and all that crap, but every now and then, if I'm not quick enough.
Yeah, I personally, once I went to the epoxy, I was like, wow, this is great. It works good.
Not to sound like a cheapskate, but how affordable is that epoxy?
It was like $3. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've got the first one I've got. I haven't even used a quarter of it, and I've done I only did the first 3 or 4 pins in CA. All those other pins that I've done are all with that epoxy, so it goes a long ways.
Yeah, I can imagine that epoxy lasting quite a while too, because it doesn't take much.
I would say you could probably get. I'm just taking a wild guess, but you can get 50 pins out of that without any problem.
Cool,
All right, guys. Well, it's time to close out, and if everybody remember, like I said, it's Dave Gatton over on YouTube, DaveGatton, I believe it is. That's his channel on YouTube, and he's going to be talking about CNCs tonight. So with that, we're going to close. Thanks everybody for being over there. We had like 28 people at one time watching you, Mike. So that was really
Good.
good, really good house. Thank y'all for all being over there. Sterling, Chris Martin, Donna Presley was over there. Robert, several of y'all over there. Thank y'all guys for being there. Thanks for everyone being here. Thanks Charles, Chris, Donald, John, and thank you again, Mike, for being on.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And just remember one thing. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust, all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, and God bless.
Hi, guys.